smokestacks of industry might well tell a story of the most trying economic risks in world history. The success of those industries depends largely on efficient operating methods and the conservation of materials and equipment. The use of metals in both manufacture and construction poses the problem of fastening, the securing of metal to metal, or the attaching of other materials to metal. The simplicity, speed, and reliability of assembly can and often does determine the rise or fall of industrial break-even points. Ours is the story of a cost-reducing method of fastening, a process to improve design and reduce cost. Split-second fastening with studs permanently end-welded to steel by the Nelson electric arc stud welder. Shaped in the form of a gun to provide easy handling, the stud welder is a compact tool, simple and safe to operate. Contacting metal, the stud completes an electrical circuit. A small pilot light on the side of the gun signals when the contact has been made. A press of the trigger then activates the timer control, and the welding cycle begins. Electrical current flows through a solenoid coil, energizing a fixed core to produce a temporary magnet. The magnetic force pulls the stud away from the welding surface. In a fraction of a second, the cycle is completed and the stud permanently fused with the plate. The light weight of the stud welder is a decided advantage to operators. Weighing only slightly more than 5 pounds, the gun is easily used in any position. Overhead, on vertical surfaces, and in the downhand position. Setting up Nelson stud welding equipment is quick and easy, following simple directions. Connections are made between a standard generator and the timer control unit, and between the gun and control unit. Generator controls are set to provide the desired current. The timer control unit, graduated in cycles, is set to maintain the proper welding time interval. Connections made, controls set, the workpiece grounded, the equipment is ready for use. Selecting the correct stud and chuck for the job at hand makes it possible to use Nelson stud welding equipment to fasten virtually any type of material to metal. Loading studs into the gun is a simple operation. A stud is placed in the chuck. A porcelain-type ferrule supplied with each stud is placed in the holder and the gun is ready for action. Fasteners of a wide variety of sizes and shapes are available for use with the stud welder for all types of fastening jobs. Fully assembled with granular flux sealed in, the stud is ready to make a perfect weld. Welding a flux-filled stud to metal assures a perfectly fused bond between the two. The resulting weld is stronger than the stud itself. Dependable strength attained in a split second. Compare outmoded methods of stud welding, shown on the left, with the Nelson method of stud welding. More than a dozen studs can be end-welded in the time taken to drill and tap a single hole. The railroad industry, for example, uses the stud welder in many car building and maintenance operations. Welding studs to metal members of freight cars provides fastenings for flooring, insulated walls and ceilings, or for other special fittings required to adapt cars for any type of cargo. Railroad shops use the gun to prefabricate sections which will later be fastened to freight cars. Furnace and boiler manufacturers have turned to stud welding to improve product quality. Simple templates used to position studs assure accurate locating of fasteners. End welding of studs is a proved time and money-saving method of fastening for many boiler and furnace manufacturers. Stud welding has eliminated costly drilling and tapping or through bolting, but so far we've only looked at the stud welder as a hand tool. Special fixtures for the stud welding gun make the operation semi-automatic. Put stud welding on a production basis. Loading is still done manually, and the gun is positioned by an operator. However, studs are welded with increased speed and accuracy. Used in automobile manufacture, a special stud welding fixture is lowered into position atop a frame on the production line. Studs are welded while the line is in motion, and the fixture is raised to be loaded for the next frame. 2 studs are left in place on the frame, which continues its journey. The fastening job is completed by fitting parts over the studs and making them secure. This unit fastens studs or teeth to a spiral picker of a cotton gin hull separator. A single operator can accurately place 8 studs per minute in this reverse spiral pattern. The welding of studs replaced the older method of drilling and tapping to fasten teeth. The result was a substantial saving and a more satisfactory piece of equipment. A gang of stud welders operating as a production unit can weld several studs in a single operation. Staggering the gun operations by careful timing assures high welding speed without the danger of a high peak load on the welding generator. The operator merely removes the finished piece when stud welding is completed and is ready to reload the gun. Construction industries are finding more and more uses for Nelson stud welding equipment. Because stud welding is done from top side, there is no need for scaffolding. There is no interference with normal plant operations, an important factor in roof construction and maintenance. Asbestos roofing sheets are first prepared by drilling. A threaded stud is inserted in the drilled hole and is quickly welded in place. A Nelson roof nut and soft lead washer are placed on the stud and tightened until the lead washer seats firmly in the hole. A corrosion-resistant, watertight connection assuring years of dependable service. Asbestos roofing and siding fastened with welded studs has effected great savings for many contractors. Steel decks are fastened with the same speed and low cost using a particular type of stud. The special stud used is the Nelson rib weld. Studs are end welded at desired intervals on roof purlins. Steel deck sheets are placed in position over the welded studs and are impaled on a rib weld extension, which is then riveted to complete the fastening. Stud fastening of steel decking makes a tighter, more positive roof without holes. Corrugated steel, aluminum, and protected metals are also applied with rib weld studs. A composite rib weld stud of steel and aluminum is used with aluminum. A sheet is impaled over the aluminum extension, which is then riveted. Yes, there are literally thousands of users of Nelson stud welding equipment in all phases of the metal working industry. Users who have turned to stud welding to improve product design and to lower their production costs through the null weld method.